This is a CBS5 News at Noon with Allison Bybee.
Breaking this noon, former Dr. Robert Neulander could walk out of the Justice Center jail at some point this afternoon. The judge who presided over his trial in 2015 just set new bail for the convicted wife killer who won a chance for a new trial thanks to a state appeals court. Neulander was sent to state prison after the jury convicted him of killing his wife Leslie in their DeWitt mansion back in 2012 and covering it up to make it appear like she fell in the shower. CBS 5's Michael Benny is with the Live Eye in downtown Syracuse right now. Michael, bring us up to date.
Brandon, good afternoon. What a surprise it had to have been for all of the other people who showed up to Judge Miller's court in the building behind me. Folks who were here appearing on weapons charges, maybe some lower level crimes that are dealt with every single day in Onondaga County Court. A surprise for them. They arrived to a packed courtroom and a lot of tension. And one of the people inside the courtroom today, that standing room only courtroom, was one of the original jurors on the Neulander trial. She sat in the very back and was hanging on every word. She's upset by all of this and believes 100% the verdict was correct, and the juror, who did receive many text messages during the trial, did not taint the jury. It was a very long and rather unusual bail hearing with at least 10 minutes of arguments by both attorneys. The defense, who would refer to Neulander as Dr. Neulander every single time, even though he's long been stripped of his medical license, and the prosecutor, who argued he's a rich man and an extreme flight risk. Neulander's attorney described him as a 67-year-old man in poor health, eyesight trouble, and potentially in need of dialysis. The prosecution believes Neulander knows the likelihood of a second conviction is very high, and therefore he should be jailed indefinitely. The Neulander children, who have supported their father all along, were here to watch the judge grant him $1 million bail. I was taking notes throughout the entire bail hearing, and nothing in them indicates the name Leslie Neulander was uttered. If it was said at all, it had to have been very brief. The death of the former doctor's wife was initially ruled an accident, and only after extreme pushing on the part of her close friends did this come to be ruled a homicide. Now, in court this morning, it really was a total and complete flashback to the days of the murder trial in 2015. The entire Neulander family in the courtroom, then after the judge's ruling of $1 million bail, out in the hallway, side by side by side by side, walking in what you might describe as a pack to the elevators and to get away from reporters. We presume that they left the courthouse to work out the details of the posting of that $1 million bail. Can we talk, guys? That was an audible yes.
No comment.
Bail was set.
Thank you.
Are you looking forward to seeing your dad? As vocal as he was in the courtroom, Neulander's son, Ari, did not want to talk to me after the fact. He did let out an audible yes when the judge granted bail, and the judge shot him and the entire courtroom a glare that let everybody know exactly what he felt about that outburst. Neulander's daughter, Jenna, was also there. Of course, she was pivotal in this case. Prosecutors and the judge believe that she was used by her father and committed perjury at trial to help her dad's case. Prosecutors say jail phone calls indicate that Jenna Neulander is now in charge of the family finances. The judge called Neulander diabolical for using his children's love to benefit himself. We expect that the bail process is underway even as we speak right now. Neulander, we know, is going to be fitted for a GPS tracking device and then at some point walk out of the Justice Center jail. Reporting live in downtown Syracuse, Michael Benny, CBS 5 News. Brandon, back to you.
Thank you, Michael. Our team coverage continues now with CBS 5's Mary Keeler. She's with the Live Eye outside the Justice Center right now. Mary?
Brandon, Robert Neulander is inside the Justice Center preparing to post his bail right now. As Michael mentioned, there was an audible gasp of yes from Neulander's son, Ari, just behind me in court this morning as the judge spoke the words that Neulander's family has been waiting for. And it was a battle and a back and forth between the defense and prosecution this morning. Robert Neulander appearing before the judge in a green prison-issue shirt and pants, bright orange shoes, and he was shackled in handcuffs. Neulander didn't say a word, but his defense attorney argued he needs to be with his family for for his health. He has poor vision, requires dialysis, and has significantly less money than he had before, his attorney said. Assistant District Attorney Melinda McGonigal claims Neulander is still a flight risk and claims allowing bail means he might not show up to his next court date.
He traveled while the investigation was going on, while he was waiting trial the first time. He's never been in trouble before. He had no disciplinary record when he was in the facility. All of the factors show that he is absolutely not a flight risk.
The prosecutor did not want to do an interview after this morning's bail hearing, but we have learned the DA's office is planning to take this case to the state's highest court, hoping to shoot down Neulander's second chance here and put him back in state prison. Live in Syracuse, I'm Mary Keeler.
Thank you, Mary. To recap, Robert Neulander was granted $1 million cash bail or $2 million bond. The terms were set on the condition he surrenders his passport and be subjected to GPS monitoring. This is one of the top stories on the CNY Central mobile app. You can get the news of the day and the forecast and much more when you download it for free to your smartphone. Happening now, Ivanka Trump, President Trump's daughter and White House advisor, is here in Central New York. Breaking live from the P-Tech School at the Institute of Technology in Syracuse. That's where she's joining Congressman John Katko for a roundtable discussion.
One of the things that I get very excited, and I know Representative Katko has been a major champion for learn while you earn, work-based experiences, vocational education, retraining, reskilling, and was a great advocate of Perkins CTE, which the House reauthorized.
CBS5's Tommy Sladek has more from Preble, where earlier today the first daughter joined Congresswoman Claudia Tenney for an event.
Ivanka Trump can now say she's driven an asphalt truck, marking an act of mourning here at Suco Corporation. The advisor to the president and Congresswoman Claudia Tenney held a roundtable inside the asphalt products manufacturer. They discussed the tax plan for businesses and jobs. They then headed outside for a live demonstration of paving the roads.
Well, the last few days, as people in the community have begun finding out about this event, their reaction is the same as mine. This is amazing. What a treat.
Protesters line the road leading into Suco. We'll hear the Democratic response to Claudia Tenney's visit coming up later on tonight. Reporting in Tully, I'm Tommy Sladek.
And here are your top 5 stories on CBS 5 News at Noon. The 5th boy from a group of 12 and their soccer coach has been rescued after spending more than 2 weeks trapped in a flooded cave. The first 4 boys were brought out yesterday and were reportedly in good condition in the hospital. A traffic alert for drivers in Liverpool and Clay. Construction crews are working at the intersections of John Glenn Boulevard and Buckley Road and Morgan Road. The Onondaga County Department of Transportation says traffic lanes will be reduced for the project. This project is expected to be done by the end of the construction season. Today, there will be an open house and job fair at the Oneida County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff's staff members will be on hand to explain what positions the office is looking for, along with information about the hiring process. The office says there are both full and part-time positions open. There will be equipment displays, canine demonstrations, and tours of the correctional facility. The event takes place from 1 to 7 at the Oneida County Sheriff's Office in Oriskany. Looking ahead, President Trump will announce his nominee for the Supreme Court at 9 o'clock tonight. President says on Friday his list of nominees has been narrowed down to 5 people, including 2 women. This comes after Justice Anthony Kennedy announced his retirement last month. There could potentially be a confirmation vote on the president's nominee as early as this fall. The state trooper killed in the line of duty in the Southern Tier has now been laid to rest. Thousands gathered yesterday at Alfred University for the funeral of 29-year-old Trooper Nicholas Clark. Trooper Clark was responding to a domestic call last Monday morning when authorities say he was shot by 43-year-old school principal Stephen Kiley in Steuben County. Kiley was later found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. State police recovered 12 illegal firearms owned by Kiley. Coming up, Robert Neulander could walk free from behind bars after a judge set bail. We're back live outside the courthouse with more on what unfolded and how the family is doing.
There's a risk for some isolated thunder with that heat and humidity, so just make sure you're checking the radar for outdoor plans.
The former doctor, stripped of his medical license when he was sent to prison for murder, could soon walk free. A judge set $1 million cash bail for Robert Neulander after a state appellate court granted him a new trial, overturning his conviction for killing his wife, Leslie, in 2012. CBS 5's Michael Benny is with the Live Eye outside the Onondaga County Courthouse in downtown Syracuse. Michael, can you describe Neulander in the courtroom?
Yeah, Brandon, the word that comes to mind in describing Robert Neulander in the courtroom was he was slight, in my opinion. He somehow looked smaller to me. I don't know if that's attributed to a weight loss from the last time we saw him as he was going off to state prison after that conviction in 2015. His hair was a bit longer, but he was in that regular getup that everybody who's in the Justice Center jail is in. Very drab clothing. He was shackled and he had orange. I attribute them to sort of along the lines of Crocs, but it was the shoes that really stood out the most as you sort of scanned him from top to bottom.
Michael, I covered this trial as well, and one of the things that struck me was the support that Neulander had from his family. How are they today in the courthouse? Are they still supporting him?
Supporting him to the nth degree. There were at least, by my count, 6, possibly 7 family members. It appears that one member of the family at least has had a child since the trial was underway in 2015. So Robert Neulander has, if he didn't before, he now at least has one grandchild who was brought by family members into the courtroom today. It was his son Ari who had that sort of outburst in court, and let me tell you, the judge didn't like it one bit, and it almost felt like it took everything that Judge Miller had to not acknowledge verbally that Ari Neulander had sort of shouted out yes when that bail was granted. But they did what they did through the entire trial. Brandon, you were here for so many days of it. They walked in as a group. I mean, if not locked arms, so close that not one person was going to get in between them as they were shuttling themselves into the courtroom and then once again out of the courtroom.
Supportive family, they're a fascinating trial, and CBS 5's Michael Benny is on the story. And we're going to take a look now. Thank you, Michael. We're going to take a look now at our live weather radar. Meteorologist Molly Matad is going to tell you what you should expect this afternoon when we come back on CBS 5 News at Noon.
This is a CBS 5 News at Noon with Allison Bybee.
I'm Brandon Roth with the top 5 stories you need to know for your afternoon. Breaking now, former Dr. Robert Neulander could walk out of the Justice Center jail at some point this afternoon. A judge set $1 million cash bail for Neulander after a state appellate court granted him a new trial, overturning his conviction for killing his wife, Leslie, in 2012. The terms were set on the condition he surrenders his passport and be subjected to GPS monitoring. Right now, Ivanka Trump is making rounds here in central New York this morning. President Trump's daughter and the White House advisor paid a visit to Suitcoat Corporation in Preble for a roundtable discussion with Congresswoman Claudia Tenney. And we're live from the P-Tech School at the Institute of Technology in Syracuse. That's where she's joining Congressman John Katko for another roundtable discussion. Under arrest, a Syracuse man is facing animal cruelty charges after police say he tried to strangle a dog and pull its legs apart. It happened Saturday night on Burns Avenue. 25-year-old Tyler Simon was arrested after witnesses called police. Authorities say the dog was taken to the veterinary medical center with a fractured right front leg and bruised eyes. Simon is being held at the Onondaga County Justice Center. The Great New York State Fair is just a little over a month away. You can now buy advanced tickets online. A one-day advance ticket costs just $6. New this year, college students can get into the fair every day for just $1. There are also Canadian Friendship Days. Any Canadian citizen can get free admission from August 24th through the 26th. The fair runs from August 22nd through Labor Day. New video from California shows a brush fire burning near a freeway that shut down traffic for hours. Some drivers that saw the flames on the side of the road simply turned around to escape the traffic mess. Even some big rigs could be seen backing their way down the freeway. Thick, rising smoke from the fire made visibility an issue for some drivers. The cause of the fire is under investigation. And let's check in now with meteorologist Molly Matap with a final look at this afternoon's forecast. Molly?
One last check of your 7-day forecast. Upper 80s today, near 90, and just a little bit of humidity. Overall, pretty nice day. We are more humid for tomorrow, not as warm. There's a risk for showers and thunderstorms. They're very hit or miss, so make sure you're keeping an eye on the radar. Have the umbrella handy just in case. A lot of spots will stay dry, but there will be some activity on the radar. On Wednesday, we're more seasonable with temperatures in the lower 80s. Then the heat is on again for the end of the week. Highs reaching into the upper 80s, humidity building through the weekend.
And that will wrap things up for us here on the CBS5 News at Noon. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you right back here tonight on the CBS5 News at 5 o'clock. Have a great day.